Welcome back. Our next guest embarked on an extraordinary path during the COVID-19 pandemic. After losing his job and grappling with isolation from loved ones, he embarked on a profound journey of self discovery. Through the mantra, I am designed to conquer, he found the strength to reignite his confidence and purpose. Joining us now is the founder of Design to Conquer and Adobe certified visual artist, Dre Steinberg. Dre, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Now, could you share how Design to Conquer came into existence during the COVID-19 pandemic and how it empowers entrepreneurs, particularly those from underrepresented backgrounds?
Well, once COVID happened, it was everybody was enthralled and things were chaotic. We were unsure of who to be around, how far we needed to social distance and things like that. And it hit me pretty hard. Being a very outwardly and energetic and extroverted person, having to be confined into a small room, my bedroom, for lack of a better word, it caused me to have a lot of internal compromising thoughts. I didn't know what to do, who to reach out to, and it led down this unpleasant road for me until I really had to sit back and recount all of the things that I accomplished with my creativity and, as mentioned, the affirmation, the phrase "I am designed to conquer" became something that was impactful to me on a daily basis. So whenever I had those intrusive thoughts and those kind of ideas that led me astray, I would remind myself, I am designed to conquer. I spent a lot of time developing my craft as a visual artist, and I would spend time drawing or creating illustrations that kind of got me out of that slump. And I took the initiative to go about getting my LLC in order to start a creative agency that would focus on multiple pillars, one of them being social justice reasons to give back to the youth. I started different initiatives and reached out to community organizations to try and make an impact through my talents, as well as helping other individuals who were interested in, exploring their own creativity through whatever industry or platform that they themselves were interested in. So I spent a lot of time, relearning who I was and developing a stronger connection with myself so that I can then present myself in situations like this as a more positive and active member, not only to my community, but to the people that I felt more connected with in regards to helping them share their story.
Now, what guiding principles inform Design to Conquer's approach to crafting visually stunning and strategically impactful designs?
Well, that comes from the idea that people can tend to wear multiple hats as entrepreneurs or small business owners, right? So people may struggle with feeling like they can afford to spend money on another niche. So they themselves try to put on that hat. And so one of the things I try to work with potential clients or existing clients is coming up with that unique story. And storytelling is important because that's how people gravitate towards your business or your service. They get to know you on a more personal level, which then allows for them to feel more confident in doing business with you. So a lot of the times I spend, talking, being as active as possible, giving my clients or people in general as much information as possible to help them develop their brand stories, which will allow for them to attract those people that they want, as well as give them the confidence that's necessary to present themselves in situations to help them further grow their personal brand as well as their business endeavors.
Now, you mentioned confidence, and I think with a name like Design to Conquer, you definitely need that confidence. How do you try to kind of put that or encourage clients to kind of feel that confidence and kind of move as you did with the idea of I'm designed to conquer?
Well, typically I spend a lot of time in these discovery calls finding out what the problem may be for certain people, and then we go about unique approaches for each individual, each company. So instilling that confidence isn't an overnight thing. It takes time. Some people don't have confidence to be public speakers. Some people don't have confidence in their writing. So what I try to focus on is the things that they are confident in, whether that is, being a baker and you make amazing cookies, or you're a medical imaging company and you take high quality imagery. So the things that you're great at, it should be easy for you to talk about, because when you when you have that passion for what you love to do, it's easy. Like right now, you can just blurt it all out without any kind of restraint. And so it's taking that kind of passion and that effort and what you like, and then try to repurpose that and put it into other areas. And then also finding the ability to have a team, right? I'm very teamwork oriented. So I believe that I don't work for people, I work with them to allow for them to have the best experience there is. And we bounce ideas off of each other and we grow, and that's the confidence and that's the conquer that they achieve by working with me.
Now, can you talk about the Wearable Art Program and how you kind of connect with young minds to foster creativity and individuality?
So initially, when I first started Design to Conquer, I wanted to find a way to influence and impact my community. And I initially started my creative exploration doing clothing. I had a clothing line called I Wear Clothing that I started in 2010 alongside my brother. And over the years, we gradually phased out of it. Like more life-related things happening, getting a job and aspiring to do other fields. But I always had that passion for fashion, and I decided to cultivate an experience that would allow for young minds to be able to express themselves through fashion. So the Wearable Art Program was created with that in mind, to give them outlets to expose and explore their own creativity using garments, using not web design, but using design programs like Inkscape or Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, so that they can master their own craft and tell their own unique story through t-shirts, hoodies, hats. I also reached out to different individuals that I knew that already had tackled certain obstacles within the fashion world, and I invited them to come out and speak so that they can also see individuals that look like them who have been able to be successful in that lane. Typically, children always are pushed towards doctor, lawyer, teacher, and they don't have certain ideas or approaches that, being more creative. So creativity is something that we all have, but we tend to phase out of as we get older. And that's one of the things I preach about with the young people, is like stay as creative as you can. Your concept and your designs and your original thoughts are powerful, and putting those on t-shirts or hoodies or any kind of apparel will allow for you to tell your own story through this medium.
Now, what I think is even more amazing just listening to this is that these children and these young people have access to digital design skills, and these are amazing things that they could take with them, far beyond this. Can you talk about the importance of having access to this type of technology and kind of using it to create art?
Yeah, I believe that STEM, the newly acclaimed mixture of science, technology, I forget the electronics and mathematics. That was one of the ways that I positioned wearable art, so that not only can the children learn these amazing programs, but then they can see the benefit in using them outside of what we're doing. So you can then take this and put together a portfolio. One of the culmination programs we created is, once they finish designing all of these things, we'll have something like a fashion show or a portfolio review, so that people can see what the children have created over time, and that can foster their willingness or eagerness to continue to pursue something in the creative and digital realm. So it's twofold. It's giving them that ability to express themselves, as well as letting them see the potential for future endeavors as graphic designers or as fashion designers, and ultimately keeping that passion for creativity alive.
Now, what can participants expect from the Wearable Art Program's closing ceremony, and how does it reinforce essential skills?
No, okay, so yeah, so again with the closing ceremonies, we typically do either a fashion show, and that allows that as a confidence builder in and of itself. So imagine you spending so much time crafting and developing your own clothes, and then at the ending ceremony, you get to display those and feel the applause of the audience and see your family, your family and friends excited about what you've done. Outside of that, we also can provide, if need be, the apparel to be produced so that now it instills independency and entrepreneurship within the young minds so that they can see this as an avenue to be profitable. Outside of that, we also do portfolio reviews where I bring in some of the guests that spoke throughout the course of the program to come through and look at things like, hey, look, this looks really good. I can see somebody wearing this or giving this, or giving them critiques that will also boost their confidence and allow for them to continue possibly on that journey of creativity within the design realm.
Now, I think it's an amazing program, and it's so wonderful that we have this available for underrepresented communities and children in these underrepresented communities. But to talk a little bit more about you, how do you balance your roles in running Design to Conquer and facilitating programs like the one we're talking about?
I'm building a strong team. Again, teamwork is very important. As an entrepreneur and small business owner, I know firsthand how difficult it can be to try and tackle all the things you want to do alone, wearing so many hats. You have to worry about emails, you have to worry about flyers, websites, social media, being able to attend and participate at networking events, or creating a program and then having to show up there before time to be early, stay a little bit later, and then deal with everything else. So the main thing I do is try to foster relationships with like-minded individuals that are as passionate about what I want to do as they would be with what they want to do. So I try to balance my likes and my requests with some things that they may be interested in, and develop a strong relationship and teamwork. So we work together to come up with ideas. I typically try to have at least 1 or 2 meetings per month with my small team so that we know what task needs to be met, what things we need to push back, and how to allocate time. Because to me, time is the most valuable currency that we possess. It's something that's non-transferable. So if you spend too much time on one thing, you'll end up spending less time on something else.
Now, what are your aspirations for Design to Conquer, and how do you plan to continue making a positive impact in the design industry and beyond?
Ooh, that's a big question. As a creative agency, Design to Conquer's purpose is to tell unique stories with our clients, and I see that continuing to happen, and their success being the proof. So the more people that we're able to work with, and the stronger stories we're able to tell through graphic design, through web design, through social media campaigns and social media development, that will then be the first-hand review. So people will be able to trust us and know that they are in good hands and have a great, solid team behind them when it's time to get the ball rolling on a new project, if it's time to do a website relaunch, or if there's a time where you need somebody to document your story, and know that your story will be told in a professional and positive light, and it will also attract the clients that you want. Outside of that, ultimately it's to be able to continue the work that I do in the community even more. So I want to create more incentives that will provide more opportunities to eventually I'll be able to bring on some of the students as interns, or provide them with part-time jobs over the summer, or become more of a mentor, and develop a overall presence in different niches that I feel are important and dear to me, so that I can have a stronger impact within my community and beyond.
That's amazing. And then we have about 2 minutes left, but I really want to get to it. How can creativity and design play a role in driving social change, especially among younger generations?
Ooh, okay. So I think that with social media playing a heavy role in our young generation, it's important to utilize those realms to kind of teach and practice social differences. Like, for example, yesterday was the election. I forget the exact term, but yesterday was an important day. But not a lot of people knew about the presidential elections, right? Like, so, utilizing social media in that way to highlight important times or important factors will then allow for the younger generations to play a stronger role in narrating their own stories and also influencing their peers.
Now, how can people learn more about your organization and the initiative that you run?
Well, my website is Design to Conquer. It's spelled like how it sounds, design, not the number, but TOconquer.com. They can follow me on social media at Design to Conquer LLC, or reach out to me via email at dre@designtoconquer.com. And I'm always interested and willing to help the next entrepreneur succeed.
Well, Dre, I want to thank you so much for joining us and having this really inspiring conversation. It's wonderful to see people take something that was kind of maybe a dark moment in their life or something that wasn't the best and turn it into something extremely positive. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We have to take a quick break. We'll be back right after this.